Hello everyone, welcome to Red, White, and Blue Woodworking, and today I'm going to show you how to make this rack to hold all your inline fabrication accessories and to hold your presses while you are working with your other ones. So I made this one for my dad because he needed some way to store his presses and accessories, and we didn't want to just do it in the wall because we didn't think our walls would be sturdy enough and the studs are too far apart. So first I just marked the lines on the 2x6 for our rails. They are 32 inches a piece, so I marked the lines at 32 inches apart. So next I just moved over to my miter saw, and I know most of the people watching this video are probably more gun and reloading people, so if you don't have a miter saw you can just use a handsaw and a guide. So then I marked 48 inches across, which is halfway on the 2x4. This will be for the back rails. For this project I'm using half laps to connect the back post to the front beams. This is a really strong connection, and when backed with wood glue and screws. In order to mark half laps, I go halfway down the wood and mark the width of the back post to the ends of the piece of wood. Here I'm just using my table saw to cut all the half laps, but you can use a circular saw too, but I'd recommend using a table saw if you have one. And you just want to knock away everything with a hammer and chisel. I went back after the video and made sure all of them were smooth. And here I'm just marking lines for the middle beam that connects to the back piece of the wood, and this is basically the same thing as last time. Just to ensure a really stable connection, I'm going to screw some holes for the screws later that go in here that back up the glue and the joint. Now this is a completely optional step, but since I am mostly a woodworker, I do like to use the router a lot, so I just rounded over all the edges with a chamfer. This is that third piece that was not used for the half lap joints and is not going to be used for the rails. It is the bottom, and I use this to balance the rack. And to balance and stabilize the rack, I am using these pieces that extend from the bottom and that just hold the rack in place. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So to connect the pieces that hold the bottom secure, I'm using pocket holes. I know pocket holes are not every woodworker's favorite thing, but they are very secure, and if you are a gun person, don't worry about this. Just screw them in from the back. We're going to reinforce these anyway. And if you don't understand how these work, it basically just drills a hole in the wood sideways so you can screw them in different ways. And after that, I just sanded everything with 120, then 220 grit sandpaper, and this allowed the wood to be stained easier in the end. And if you aren't a fan of staining, then you don't have to. This is a completely optional step because this is just a piece that is going to be used just to serve its purpose. It's not supposed to look amazing, but I wanted to go for a little bit more of a clean, professional look. So this part may look a little bit confusing, but really you're just cutting a 45-degree angle on each end of the board after you cut them straight. I cut these pieces at I believe 18 inches, but I'm not exactly sure, I don't remember. But you just want to go at a 45-degree angle, both sides, going to the middle. And also, most everything that I do in this project is possible with a circular saw that is for the cuts, and you really only need 2 to 3 tools for this. You just need a saw, a drill, and a sander. And I cannot stress how important this part is. I just used some L brackets that I got from Lowe's. I think they were like $3 for 4, and this helps so much with the security of the piece. Then I just glued and screwed everything into place for the half-lap joints, and I would recommend doing both of these things as it really helps with the heavy weight that you're going to be putting on it. Then I went over to staining it the next morning. Just make sure that you've sanded it well. I just used some black walnut stain from Minwax, which you can get at Lowe's. It's like $8. Super affordable. You also could do polyurethane, which is a clear coat protective coat that also really helps. Then it was time to install the hardware. I had my dad help me on this. I'd recommend holding a level and doing this with 2 people so you can get it perfectly flat. And I just really slowly drilled in all of the bolts and drilled pilot holes for everything first. Everyone, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed building it. Please like, subscribe, all that stuff. I just started this channel, so I'm trying to grow it, and that's why my views are probably pretty low. But I've got more content posted, like the 1776 flag and also this chair I'm sitting in. So if you like what you're seeing, please like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.